Hi, Taurus, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. So, lots going on for you guys. You're on both sides of it. You're kind of having a Libra type of influence come in for you guys this month where you don't really know what side of yourself to be on. I feel like you're questioning the people in your life right now, and this has been definitely a theme for you probably for like the last 2 years that got really intense probably around summer 2016, then came to the forefront again around the new year. And I feel like it comes in to be resolved as we go through equinox. So we did just come from the equinox Taurus during March 20th or 21st, depending on your time zone. And it's really called for a really big cosmic shift in energy, sure, but intentions more so. And especially in the fixed signs, it seems to have really come with a lot of change in perspective, a lot of new value systems being created, a lot of release of old cycles and release of old patterns of being that didn't suit you. And I feel like you are realizing how beautiful this is, but at the same time, how destabilizing it can be. And now is a time I feel for you guys to be comfortable instead of constantly fearful or constantly worried about what's going to fall next. I feel like a lot of Taurus have made changes in who is around them, in the people around them. There are some people that have been stable parts of your life, Taurus, for a very long time that you will come to find as this change in energy occurs that weren't ever really there for you. And it may not even be who you think, but you start to see that people, this sounds familiar from old readings that I've done for Taurus, but you start to see that people that were in for a short period of time and kind of left easily or left in a how do I want to say, in a kind of a cosmic faded type of way, you start to see that you're resonating more with their way of being. You're starting to see that you maybe act in the way that some of these people from your past used to act. And I'm not really talking about the type of people who necessarily treated you badly or necessarily that you had a falling out with, although it can be this as well. And this is where you kind of face that destabilizing issue that I'm talking about, is because you might start to see yourself doing actions or conveying yourself in the same way that people that you didn't like in the past. And this is actually the most opportune time to really come into contact with who you actually are and what parts of yourself may have been functioning at a shadow level or a level that you didn't see all along, but now that you experienced something vicariously through somebody else in your past that was difficult, you can now see more clearly how you were that way as well. And what do I mean by this? Because this might come off as in like you're being a bad person, which is not what I mean at all. But Taurus are strange this way, and I've known a lot of Taurus in my time, and being a Scorpio, I feel that I understand the part of Taurus that they struggle to understand about themselves. And that's why I do like to surround myself with Taurus, because it's the other way around. They understand parts of me as a Scorpio that I struggle more with myself. So for me and the Taurus that I've been around, I feel that, how do I want to put it? You're so fixed, you're so earthy, a fixed earth sign. Some people can't comprehend the solidity and I want to say stagnant at times energy of fixed earth. And as a Scorpio, I understand this because Scorpio is fixed water, so it's very icy. So you get like the ice and earth element, which have something in common because they're solid and they're breakable and moldable, but they're harder to do so than the other elements. Okay, so before I get off on a tangent, it seems that maybe parts of your own personality that you didn't like, that you didn't allow to shine or flourish, despite being some aspects of your personality potentially that could bring you a lot of abundance and something that you could really like, you shunned that aspect of yourself potentially, and this is just potentials. We'll keep talking about other possibilities. And you started to see other people around you with these personality aspects, and you saw how they gained from them, and this was very discouraging for you. So because you realized that that was an aspect of yourself that you pushed back because you didn't think that you could gain the way that these people did. And like your fixed earth mentality solidified that and put that in a place where it was hard to pull back out, especially if any of you Taurus have like water placements as well. It may have really anchored, especially for Cancer ruled Taurus or fourth house ruled Taurus. You're very prone to anchoring your opinions, to anchoring your judgments, and they can be very difficult to change. That is something that has to easily come to an end right now, Taurus. And I don't mean that in an uncomfortable way. Like I'm really not trying to act above or act like I just know what you guys need. But this reading is an exact mirror to this exact personality. How do I want to say? This exact personality construct within the Taurus archetype, where you're like your own worst enemy, and there comes a shadow potential to shun the people around you who remind you of yourself in ways that you haven't done well with that part of yourself, because these people are doing well. Okay. And this is, again, not necessarily all of you guys, but this is something, and again, it had to do with Saturn through Scorpio, which opposed your sun, which again solidified things. That was a bit of a more malevolent transit for you when Mars transited through Scorpio as well. And that was in 2016 and Saturn from 2013, but Mars and Saturn did a weird retrograde thing through Scorpio and Sagittarius in the beginning and middle of 2016. So this all came to a head, and it was something, and it's not only you guys who were dealing with this, it's Scorpio too, it's Aquarius, it's Leo, all the fixed signs for sure dealt with this. But due to your nature, Taurus, it was more difficult because of, again, your fixed earth and the constructs being so prone to being anchored and solidified so easily by you. But now you get the opportunity with the equinox to be reborn, to become like the Ace of Cups energy, to benefit from that, to benefit from this more outward, more empathetic, more understanding of other people's situations, and willing to gain power from the quote-unquote weakness of the human condition versus pulling back on that and pretending like it doesn't exist because you see other people honoring their own human condition. Okay, Taurus, that's really the crux of it. There's a need to honor the human condition in you, because if you keep trying to repress it, you find yourself in the place of the Towers, in the place of the Lovers from the whole archetype of the Crossroads, okay? Which could be experienced as a very sudden change in your life, a sudden altercation, which then puts a crossroads onto your path that is very difficult to choose and seems like a rock and a hard place, because Taurus is also the archetype of the rock and the hard place. So you guys have a lot of decisions like that to make where you don't know which way to go, because you're coming into Gemini, you've come from Aries, and we're in Aries time right now, so this is interesting. You come from Aries, Taurus as a sign, which indicated the self and was sort of the toddler type of energy where the self only mattered, but it didn't understand its shadow. So we move into Taurus where it becomes more about the other, where it becomes a Venusian energy because you're ruled by Venus, and you can now relate to other people. And this problem is that you're so good to relating to other people and seeing what other people provide, but we've not yet come to Cancer where you understand the shadow of the self. So you can relate and understand other people's shadows really easily, but it's more difficult to do it with yourself, especially early in life, or when you've gone through a situation, regardless of age, where you've sunken down into the lower vibrational field, okay? So Taurus seems to get the ability with this cycle, with the new equinox, as we've come from the huge Pisces stellium where things suddenly turn over, to finally be able to understand the shadow aspect, because you're given the Ace of Cups energy with the Tower, and if that isn't watery element, sort of Cancer shadow energy, I don't know what would be. You also have the Knight of Cups, okay? And this is sort of, I've gone off on a tangent. I feel like this is probably going to be a long reading because of this, but it's very difficult for me to articulate because I see it so clearly in the people around me who are Taurus, and just lovely, lovely people. I've always had a stricter tone with Taurus on my channel and my channel's history because I don't know. I don't even know what it is, but do not take it personally, Taurus, because you are some of my favorite people, my favorite, most trustworthy people. And it's because I want to see you guys thrive. And there's been so much energy to pull you down and so much energy to prevent you from thriving, and a tendency to thrive off of what pulls you down versus, walking away from it and creating a new system. So I want to look at this reading for you guys from the week to week standpoint so we can really get to the center of all of this, because I really want to work through whatever this is for you guys and with you guys and help you to kind of see your potential, okay? And if this is super deep for you, you guys can always go to the next tarot reader. Also, you can be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising sign. If you have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, a lot of Gemini, even a lot of Capricorn, this is probably going to be a bit heavy for you. But for you Taurus people who are going through the difficult situation, who maybe have a lot of water energy, I feel this is right up your alley. So anyway, without further ado, in the first week, you guys have the Ace of Cups rooted down by the Nine of Pentacles. All of a sudden, you're motivated, you're inspired, some kind of muse energy comes in. This could be a new relationship that pops up. This could be a new romantic, I want to say inspiration. Again, the inspiration keyword comes to me. So you're getting inspiration from romance. Very lovely, very easy. You guys are embracing that aspect of your own nature. The only problem that we see is that we are in Aries time and it's more about the self. So do not try to search so much for something from other people. Can't you be inspired by the journey that you've been on, Taurus, versus seeking it from other people? And it's not always bad, especially once we get into May, when it's your time of the year. It becomes much easier to see it in other people and much easier to take something constructive from that. But I feel that right now it will be better for you to find this within yourself. Allow your own cup to run over, Taurus. Allow your natural influx of, I don't know, chemicals or energy or whatever it is, because that's what the Ace of Cups is all about. The Ace of Cups has to do with hormones, chemical balances, and just sort of love, inspirational energy. Also related with the, I believe it is dopamine a hormone? I'm going to look that up really quick. Okay, so according to Google, it is a hormone, but I feel that it is also a neurotransmitter. I was a psychology major at one point in time. Don't kill me for this, Taurus, because it escapes me. I did not do psychology for that long. But neurotransmitter, hormone, there's some kind of similarity. And of course, now I just have to look that up because of my analytical mind. Okay, Google. What is the difference between a hormone and a neurotransmitter?
According to Quora, they are two separate chemical messengers with some overlap, as some molecules can act as both hormones and neurotransmitters. One example of this overlap is norepinephrine, which can be released into the bloodstream by the adrenal glands as a hormone or can be released by sympathetic nerve endings as a neurotransmitter.
Okay, so, yeah, there's not that huge of a difference, but Google likes to give me multiple answers because one page said that dopamine was a hormone and a neurotransmitter. Anyway, so Ace of Cups rules dopamine, and it rules hormones, neurotransmitters in general, those sort of secretions or messengers that go through the body that make us feel a certain way. So that's becoming more lifelike for you now, Taurus. You might have felt empty and kind of distracted for a while and maybe blank. But that changes drastically during the first week of April, because all of a sudden your feelings and ideas suddenly inspire you to take on some kind of new project, which does benefit you, and it seems to give you money as well. That is written down by the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about happiness. It talks about prosperity and feeling sort of like the center of attention and embracing the natural flow of life. Which, really good, great for you guys. I think that the first week of April is beautiful, and I find that quite self-explanatory, but suddenly something has changed in the second week. Knight of Cups reversed over the Tower. Somebody could come back into your life, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces person that you experience as manipulative or conceited or narcissistic comes back into your life, and this is very destabilizing for you. And you kind of get the desire to fall apart. And not the desire to fall apart, but you feel tempted to just let yourself go and let yourself go on a rampage or feel very destabilized, when in reality it doesn't seem like you have to be that way. It seems like maybe you're mistaking who this person is, when in reality they could be like a more Knight of Wands type of person, as it is your central theme, which is more of an eccentric, more healthy, creatively defined person. But you do just have to trust your gut. If you feel that this person is not trustable, and you know that they have done actions that makes them not trustable, as indicated by the Knight of Cups reversed, that's your place to draw the line or to create a boundary. But it does have to be real. It has to be... It's like they can't be crazy because you just can't handle them. What do I mean by that? So Taurus have been on a journey for solitude and to understand their own authenticity. And it seems like when people go on this journey, they start to really enjoy their alone time. They start to enjoy not having to deal with the chatter, which is great. It's a beautiful gift to finally come into that place where you don't need codependency anymore. There can also be a tendency, however, to make things more flawed about other people than they are because you just don't want to deal with them, or because you want to be alone, or you want to be separated from them on whatever personal level that you need that, not so much because of them. Does that make sense? Because like you can kind of have a tendency to exaggerate other people's flaws so that it's not you being the bad guy, okay? And this could be somebody doing that to you as well, Taurus. Okay, I just got like the hairs on the back of my neck just stood up. This happens to me a lot as a reader, where I'll interpret something from one point of view and realize that it's actually coming from the other direction. So, and that's what it's about with energy work. I can realize the archetypes, and most people who do this realize the archetypes. And like I can tell that there's the archetype of potentially antagonizing somebody because you just don't want to deal with them. And I feel that somebody could be antagonizing you, Taurus. So now how do you get past that? Well, you start some kind of creative project, or you create something that can withstand other people's judgments because you're falling back on it, and you don't have to rely on other people's input. That seems to be your way out of that, okay? Now is a better time to focus on the foundations of things versus what fell. Now is a better time to focus on where things started versus where things ended. Okay, and beginnings are so emphasized right now, as again we are in Aries time. We have gone from Pisces to Aries. We've ended, and now we've began. So looking towards the foundation or the beginning will suit you better than looking to the ending. This is also because being that somebody could come back from your past, it's better to look at how things started with them versus how things ended. Not because, and so for the codependent relationships out there with the exes, you need to look at how the relationship began to understand how it ended, okay? And this isn't a matter of vindicating somebody. This isn't a matter of remembering a honeymoon phase so that you accept this person back in, or that you forget the wrong that they did. But there's something inherently strong about yourself in the beginning of a past relationship that you've kind of forgotten about, or that you've not given enough credit. And it seems to really help you in your new beginnings to think about old beginnings versus endings. You're very focused on endings right now with the Tower, Taurus, and it will do you very good to think about beginnings instead. And okay, so then you move into the third week with the Five of Wands reversed, rooted down by the Lovers. Oh my gosh, that is so heavy. That is great. And this is similar to Scorpio as well, where you've kind of got a week where energy dominates that could really go one way or another. It could be difficult, but it could also be really great. So, Five of Wands reversed over the Lovers. I feel that this realization about yourself, Taurus, where you start to think about how you are in a beginning type of energy versus how you are in an ending type of energy, I think that this kind of also, and again, Leo is here too, making you kind of battle with yourself. So if any of you Taurus have like Leo placements or Scorpio placements, I would really watch both of those videos and get some great messages from those as well. But it seems that you kind of go in a battle with yourself because you do see how different that is for you. Like how you convey yourself in a beginning versus an ending. And what this doesn't need to cause, Taurus, is a self-deprecation or a self-sabotage. Like you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a bad person to be that way, or I'm a bad person to do this, I don't deserve success. That's something that Taurus has been dealing with. Like, you make yourself out to be too mundane, or you make yourself out to not be deserving of really grandiose success. But in reality, that's what you are. Like, as a sign, you are success. You're the first Venus sign, you're fixed Earth. You find success and you stay there. And this is something that you guys desperately need to wake up to and realize about yourself. And the less time that you spend battling with yourself and taking things away from yourself, the quicker that you come into a place where you can achieve, you know, those really high aspirations you had for yourself way back when, or that you just made for yourself if you're more highly evolved right now. And it's also a sign that, like, career and money or projects, there needs to be more time devoted to the task and accomplishing versus asking if it's good enough to pursue or not, versus weighing out all of the budgets and weighing out everything and trying to come to a conclusion about whether or not you should be doing it. Too much time spent there is not good right now. It's better to, be reaching for something. It's better to be, as an Aries, it's better to be like a toddler just walking around, even though you know that you can kind of fall over, you just kind of do it anyway because that's Aries time. And that will reward you. So that is rooted down by the Lovers, as I'm saying, and that can relate to Crossroads energy. this battle with yourself, or the realization of this battle with yourself, starts to give you more options because you can kind of control it more, and you come into a place where you have more control over what direction you go. This could be your creative direction, your direction in life. Maybe you realize that you need a move or you need a change in location. Maybe you realize that, how do I want to say, not that you weren't right to somebody in the past, but you start to see things from their perspective more, and you feel a stronger connection to them, because the Lovers is, again, all about divine connections. This could also be a time that you pull forth a twin flame type of energy with the Lovers, and it can be through conflict, through a long-running conflict, that you feel a new admiration for somebody and what they went through. This could be anybody in your life, or it could be someone who stands to come in the future. But I do feel that you may already know these people, and even if you don't connect to them, there's an appreciation to be had here about their experience and their experience of you, and how you changed through that, how they changed through that. All of that's coming forward for you. And you really start to marry everything, it seems, because moving into the 4th week, you guys have Queen of Pentacles reversed, rooted up by King of Pentacles reversed. That's so strange. And that is the masculine and feminine aspect to your sign, Taurus. So it seems that you're starting to really understand both sides of your personality, and you're starting to understand how to merge and integrate both sides of your personality. But there's something that's still flipped about it, isn't there? Because they're both reversed. This can also be other earth signs in your life. This can be other people who've fallen out of favor. But I feel that it more represents aspects of your own personality where you may have honestly just changed perspective on both sides of your personality. Maybe the one side that you thought would get you through and would accomplish everything and make all the money for you is actually the side of your personality that you need to return to in reflection. And maybe the more reflectory or reflection-oriented side of your personality that seems more emotional is actually the side of your personality that you need to utilize more to accomplish something on the monetary level. So that's an interesting change of events and integration that I see happening for you guys. And overall, as your central theme being the Knight of Wands, it seems that all of this comes together to give you progress. And to give you progress on a creative project, it could be, or to give you progress on a new frontier, something new, something that you haven't done, or taking something to a level that you've not taken it to before. This can also be feeling more inclined to romance, or feeling more inclined to like animal magnetism, where you're attracting in more people and more people are attracting you in. You could have increased sex drive during this time and increased passionate urges. So, you know, the hormones are kind of out of control for you guys, it does appear, or you're having a spike in your chemicals and your hormones, and that doesn't necessarily correlate with sex drive, and it can make it like obviously go up or down, but it does seem that changes for you at least, and I do feel it is for the better. But do be careful of, you know, people that you don't know much about, because there is that the Tower energy and the Five of Wands. And all of the cards that the Knight of Wands is over is kind of risky territory. So be careful with engaging with people that you don't know very well. Because you don't want any more destabilized energy coming in for sure. But overall, it's a great month for you guys. It is kind of a shadow month. And I think you guys are probably the only sign that really need to be in that vicinity. I've told all the other signs that it's better to not be so much on the shadow side this month, because again, we're in the light, we're in Aries time, and that does apply to you guys too. You guys do need to be reaching for something, or you need to be working on something that is reachable, that is aspirational or inspirational, and you need to not be completely focused on your own internal mechanisms, you know, resting too much or feeling drained. It's not really that time of the year. So if you're feeling that way, there seems to be a very easy fix for it. So overall, I'm really proud of you guys, because it does seem you're coming to a lot of really intense realizations. This could be through the Mercury retrograde as well that we're going to have, that you maybe finally understand how things were. And I think I talked about that when I first started my channel back in September or October for Taurus. Like, how were things for you, Taurus? What is the past to you? It seems to be something that 2016 has been all about for you guys, which has been a bit of an uncomfortable process, because Taurus is really not a sign about the past. You guys remember the past very easily, but again, you've not gotten to Cancer yet, so you don't really have a lot of reason to stay there. But again, it's been a part of the Taurus condition. So some of you may have progressed Sun in Cancer. That would be kind of a long shot, or you'd have to be quite old, but it's possible. And I think astrology brain not coming through for me. Anyway, but, or for again, those of you that have a Cancer or Scorpio or Pisces or any really older sign predominating in your chart, I feel that the past how things were. It's really a source of power for you and something to kind of look at very quickly in April and then turn the other way and jump out into life. So overall, great month for you guys. Transformative, integral month where integration happens. If you've been struggling to shed any skins or struggling to move forward, you guys can check out the the guided meditation that I did that had to do with the equinox, but it will definitely be good through April and May as we will be in that energy for a while. That should be popping up on the screen any second now. Also, you can book a private reading with me here or subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm so appreciative to all of the Taurus out there who have backed me so well and who have said that my readings resonate so well for them. I've really loved talking to you guys about what you're going through and how it's been, and continue to comment, like, and subscribe. I just am so grateful to you guys for making YouTube and this channel such a great possibility for me. Much love to you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.